Hallo, wir sind hier am Stand von Ankama Games und Pierre-Henri zeigt uns jetzt mal die Neuheiten. So, what are your new games?
So we have several new games presented here in Nürnberg. First of them is Bouffe. So Bouffe will be released in a fair in France in Cannes end of February, and so we'll eat the rest of the world just after, so beginning of March. So it's part of the Crossmaster range.
I see it.
Yeah.
Chibi style.
Exactly. So with 10 miniatures, all different, and it's a sport game. The purpose of the game is to score 2 touchdowns. So you control a team of 5 characters, and each character does have a special ability depending on their role to the team. So the runner is better than the slugger, for example, is able to catch a long pass, and so on. So during your turn, you can do 3 movements spread across your team. So I can do, for example, 1, 2, 3, and I can do 1 action. Action will be pass the ball, as for example from him to him, tackle. I'm on the same cell as an opponent, I can try to tackle him. This will be resolved with dice.
So that you have a cool dice tower.
Yeah, a very cool dice tower.
Very cool, yeah.
That's also our score keeper. We don't have it here because that's a prototype, but you will have small panels that you can
add
to show the score. And finally, the last action you can make is to kick an up and under. So you kick the ball in the air, and you choose the cell where it shall land, and it will only come onto the ground on your next turn. So you can kick it, run, try to catch it.
Get it. Yeah.
There's a majority rule in the game, meaning that for everything, if you have more miniatures than your opponent in a cell, you have an advantage on the dice of 1 star. The very cool thing about the game is that you also have 5 cards in hand, cards that you can use for a bonus. For example, I want to tackle you. I will say I play 2 cards with it, like this one, and it will give me 1 additional star in the end. Or I can play the card for their action. For example, here, after a successful base action by you, play this card to move one of your players from an area without taking the one skill wheel into account. And so your opponent doesn't really know what to expect from you. You have 5 cards in hand, you can play as many as you want, and you only draw 2 new at the beginning of your turn. So if I try to make a big action using a lot of cards, then when it's your turn, I will have very few cards to defend myself. For the basic version of the game, that's almost everything that you have to know. The last thing will be that on tackle, some cards will give you a red die that you can use in order to try to knock out opponents or even injure them. If they are injured, they will lose their ability for the rest of the game.
Oh, interesting. And do you plan to add more characters to the game, like in Crossmaster, or
that's a possibility?
That's a possibility. Yeah. Okay.
Obviously. Next, on the expert mode, you have new things such as captain cards. You can have 1 captain per team. Coach boards that allow you to do more action per turn, but you have to discard cards to do them. Cheering token, because the crowd goes crazy after you, so each time you try an action, you will take a token and your opponent too, and the winner of the action will take a second one. Those tokens can be used to clear the board, so you can do more action again, or to buy bonuses for your team. So here, discard to a dice roll again.
Okay.
Interesting. Yeah. First to 2 wins the game.
Okay. So that's the first game.
That's the first game. Boofball. Yeah.
Boofball. So, True Park.
No, True Park. So that's a game that will be released in Gen Con. And now we will build our very own theme park. So it's 2 to 4 player actually. That's a prototype, and there's a mistake here, but
Yeah.
that's not an issue. We do have personal board with that will be our park, and on each park you have 3 different atmospheres. You have the fun part, the scary part, and the food part. Each turn you will pick one attraction that you select with the wheel, so every player selects at the same time. Okay?
Yeah.
And so here, let's say I pick F, there is an instant effect. So I will place it in my park, so I will place it in the fun part of my park. I take 1 food point per blue background I have on my attraction. So you can see here on the main board, we do have tracks that are representing the food, the fun, and the scary part of each park. I'm the purple player. I just gained 1 food point. I will move 1 here.
Okay.
And now, so at the end of the turn, we will draw the weather. Attractions work better under a certain weather. Here, it's a rain. So if I draw rains at the end of the turn, that's the draw for all the players. This attraction will work well, bring more people into this part of my park, so I will also gain 1 fun point, because it's in the fun area.
Interesting.
Up, 1 fun point. The main purpose of the game is to get the most visitors in the end. It lasts 8 turns, and how do I gain visitors? At the end of each turn, we will have reviewers, inspectors, that will check on all our park.
Okay.
And so we don't know what will be drawn.
So it's random.
I draw 1, and here he will inspect the scary part of our park. So depending on your ranking among all the players, if you're the first one on the scare track, you will get 8 visitors and bonus point in any aspect. As the second will only get 6,
and so on.
And so on. Yeah. So you can have different strategies, because you can try to have a park that is average in everything, or try to focus on only two parts.
And just skip the last one, but risky.
Trying to gather attractions that use the same weather to get more points on some specific turns, because as you can see, there are also here panels with points or effects, and this slide has an effect with it, because if I do select, for example, the G card, but you want the same, we have a problem. We can't both have it. So the player that is below the other one will take the card and will go up on the slide, and the other player will have to choose another attraction. But if I choose, for example, C, I will also get 1 of the 2 bonus I can choose. So I can try to choose tiles that I know you will be willing,
because
in order to get
bonus. The bonus,
yeah,
right.
Exactly. And after the 8 turns, the game is over, the player with the most visitors wins.
Okay, very nice. And it will be released at Gen Con.
Yeah. So
so
the next one is
Tales of Glory.
Yeah, so it's illustrated by Miguel Crembra, that was illustrator, for example, of 7 Wonders.
I saw it,
Here it's just a prototype, and here you have illustration from Miguel. Okay, that's...
Looks amazing. Yeah.
Thank you. In this game, you play knights, and you will live their life for 10 years. It lasts 10 turns. 1 turn equal 1 year. So at the beginning, I'll set it up. Okay, you do have a starting point with some resources. So 4 mana here, 4 coin, and a magical skill. Okay. Each turn you will select the quest your hero will be doing during the year. So I have cards to select the tile I want, and let's say I want this one. There is a cost of the quest on the top left corner, so I have to pay 1 coin.
Okay.
1 coin. I pick the tile and I have to assemble it with my starting point.
So adjacent to your...
Yeah, adjacent.
Okay.
It brings me, I met a druid, and during the year he teaches me magic, so I get another magical skill. The main purpose of the game is to gain glory points, and I will come back to it later. Then all the players pick tiles, so let's say this disappears. At the end of the turn we slide the tile and we put more on the board.
Okay.
As the game goes, we will have more and more difficult quests to do that have a higher cost. So you can choose, for example, to defeat monsters at the beginning in order to get glory points, but you don't upgrade your character and don't get resources, so you might have trouble during the late stage because, as you can see, yeah, it will be more and more difficult. When you connect two half keys, because as you can see there are some keys on the connector, let's say I pick here, it will allow me to take a key token and to open chests on the tile to unlock their content. For example, 2 coins.
Yeah, sorry. On this tile or
on any tile that is connected to the key.
Okay, so I could choose this one also.
But not this one, for example.
Okay.
The upper line has savage lands, and you will have to spend an extra mana or an extra coin to get quests from here. So the game lasts 10 turns. During your 10 turn, you will just create the path of your knights, what you will do during the year, meeting people, fighting monsters, going to different places, looting treasures.
Getting glory.
Exactly, and so
Very
on.
nice. And when do you plan to release
that will be released in Essen.
In Essen,
Yeah.
okay. So you don't plan to make Kickstarter anymore?
So not on this.
Not on this. So
we do have something planned that we will announce later.
Okay, but that's secret at the moment. Okay.
For the moment, yes.
Okay. So the last one, Monster Slaughter.
Monster Slaughter. So he is.
Yeah, we made a preview for that.
Yeah.
On our channel. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and we backed it. So.
That's great to hear. That's a prototype version.
Yeah.
So in Monster Slaughter, you flip the horror movies of the 80s, the script of these movies, and you play a family of monsters. So you have different families, such as, for example, the maniacs here. So you will always play the father, the mother, and the child. So you have mummies, alien, werewolves, zombies, and a lot of different families. And the first thing you will do in the game is to define the death order of the students, because you are tracking students that are hidden inside a house. The main purpose will be to kill them, and the first thing you do is define their death order. So all the players will choose in what order the students will die. So there should be a 5th token is here. Okay. Then you choose your primary target, the one you absolutely want to kill. That will give you extra points if you achieve to kill them. You have cards for each room of the house. So those cards are items or actions, and on top of them, there should only be one, you have a student. Okay? You can do different actions with your monsters. I begin outside. There is a door.
Crashing it.
Yeah. So on the prototype, the door isn't too solid, but this one is fine. I can look inside. For example, when I look inside the room, I will be able. So this is the living room. I will be able to check the first card. Okay. So I see what student is inside at the beginning of the game. After that, I can decide to crash the door, for example. So I will roll dice to see if I achieve it. I crash the door, and when I crash the door, the student is scared, so shuffle the deck, because she's hiding.
She's hiding.
Inside. So then I can move inside, for example. I can check on other pieces. I can search the room too. If I search the room, I will get cards, depending on how many success I roll. All your character have different abilities. So the kid, for example, has 3 actions, but only 2 dice per action. The father has less action, but more dice. And the mom is kind of in the middle. You have different type of cards. You can have traps that humans did set up, so you don't want to get those cards.
That's
you
bad.
have actions that you will be able to use, or items that you will be able to use to defend students against monsters.
So that they don't die.
Yeah, they don't die because that doesn't respect your disorder, for example.
Okay.
You also have special items, so with these symbols that will attract surprise guests, for example, like a cop or something that will come into the house and help the students.
And that triggers the game end.
Yeah. At the first turn, so the moon is at 11, and each turn you move the moon, and each turn you will reveal a new event that happens. For example, barricades. Each player will be able to put a barricaded door on instead of a common door or on an empty slot, and it's harder to break. So you can try to secure some rooms or isolate some students. There are a lot of different effects. Yes. You also have 8 scenarios in the game that will change a lot the way it's played. For example, you can get rid of all the students and put some more badass character instead, like this one, for example. That some are kind
some special agents.
Yeah, that have powers that are more efficient, so they are more a threat for the monster. You also have scenarios where your monsters do have health points, so you can go as barbaric as you would try in the normal game.
Yeah.
And the game ends when the clock reaches 8 in the morning, or when all the students are dead.
Okay.
How you will get points? You get points when you eat a student. You get meat, some meat. When you hit a student and he dies, you get a bone in addition to the meat. When you respect the order, let's say someone killed Cam, but you had it first, and if that's the first one to die, you will get
a bonus point.
A bonus
3 points. Oh.
Yeah. And if you kill your primary target, you get 5 points.
Very cool.
And in the end, the one with the most points wins the game, obviously.
And what do you think of delivering to backers? Exact dates?
That will be in October.
In October.
And it will hit store in December.
Okay.
So on the basic version, you have 31 exclusive and unique miniatures.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for showing us the games.
You're welcome.